Well, welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today we're going to do some welding, and I'm going to be welding up my tractor canopy that I have used for a sunshade and just to keep the rain off me if it's raining a bit, and to of course protect the tractor from constant rain because I leave it outside when I'm up north. And I ran into a problem last week. I was up there and guess what happened? Guys, this is metal fatigue. Here's a piece here. I'm going to show you how this all goes together. But I made a big mistake, a huge mistake in designing this incorrectly, to tell you the truth. I never expected there to be that much vibration and that much, I guess, torque on these shafts that just over time, just the metal fatigue just broke them. So I kind of jerry-rigged it up to last me for the rest of the day, and then I decided I'm going to bring them home. What I'm going to do is, instead of using pins, that made it easier for me to actually install it and take it apart if I needed to, because it is quite heavy. What I'm going to do is weld it up solid, and then when one of my friends are up there with me, I'll get them to help me install it, and that's it. Because it's not the type of thing you take off all the time anyways. There's another couple of things that I designed wrong. Was the tractor canopy is made out of that PVC plastic, that rippled plastic you use, I guess, for awnings and roofing. And that would just drive me squirrely because it would vibrate constantly. Constantly vibrating. And you know what? When something's vibrating like that, you know, it kind of works on you after a while. You got the earmuffs on too, but you know, it was just a constant vibration. So I'm going to fix this with the vibration. So I'll take you off the tripod and I'll show you what we've got here and how I'm going to fix it. Well, there we are right there. There's the tractor canopy showing the underside. And if you take a look down the bottom here, you can see where I just jerry-rigged it by jamming in just a bolt so it wouldn't fall out, because this one here, it's broken too. I mean, it's snapped in there as well. So, and this stuff here, can you imagine, like, can you hear that? I mean, that just vibrates like crazy. I'm going to fix that too while I'm at it, because, you know, it's pretty distracting, you know, hearing that while you're trying to mow grass. Down here in this corner, and right there, I'm going to weld it solid to the upright. I'm going to show you the upright here in a second. And I'm going to use this round, this is gas pipe. A friend of mine's a gas fitter, and I can get all this pipe I want for free, because today they're not using the pipe so often in a lot of locations and they have to upgrade to a different pipe. And he got miles of this pipe. So I said, bring her over. I got lots of room for it. So I'm going to incorporate this into there, and I'm going to weld it onto here and then bring it back to the main frame like I should have done in the first place. So let's get to it. Well, I'd just like to show you how this was designed, and you could see how this would fit in here like this, and it matches the hole here to this this bolt, you see. That would just be driven in, and it's the right length to sit flush here, and it goes through here, and there's no hole on the other side. It just holds it in there. And yeah, you can see how it just vibrated itself silly, right? So I'm gonna get my grinder and grind that all off nice and clean, and grind this edge here all nice and clean and chamfer it a bit as much as I can, and then we'll just weld her up solid. That's what I figure. And these holes here, well, I'm just going to probably leave them alone for now, and that's about it. So I'll bring you back when I've got this all ready to weld. Well, here's the rig set up right here. I got it set up on my couple of my three-legged sawhorses there. And guys, these come in really handy. You guys never seen how to build some of these three-legged sawhorses. I'll put a link down below. You can build yourself a set for 20 bucks. So I tried to figure out how I'm going to rig this up, and I found myself, can you imagine that? I found myself just a scrap piece of wood, and I think it's good enough. So here we are right there. I'll go on this side. Here's a level right there. This is the only way I can think about doing it, guys. And I got it clamped at this end, and I got her clamped at the other end too. And I thought, you know what, if I put a level on here, that's got to be a 90, really close to it. And I got all chamfered up on this end and that end. I got it all grinded down good enough. I'm going to do some ticky-tacky here, and then I can weld her real shut. So let's get welding right now. Okay, so I got the ground down on the base there. I hope it's a good enough ground. This thing is all painted up, but the inside of that post at the bottom hopefully is a good ground. I'm just going to put a couple of tacks here, here, all the way around. Let's go to her. Okay, I'll tack that all up or bring you back when I'm going to do the rest of the welding. Well, for the final welding, I just got her all tacked up here on both sides. You got to tack her up pretty good because this is quite heavy and it's more likely going to fall apart if you just put a couple of tacks. So I tacked her up there pretty good. I'm just going to wire brush them a little bit better. And I'll weld her up right there. And I'm going to probably put a blanket over top of that stuff because it's going to probably melt that plastic. I thought about taking this plastic off, but you know what? That's a big job, and a lot of them pieces at the other end went into the steel, and them holes would probably be hollowed out if I tried to take them out and put them back in again. So let's weld her up right there. Okay, so there's a setup there. I can do these 3 welds on this side and go back later and do the back side. But let's get welding. And this blanket here is flame proof, and it should protect this here from all the sparks. So let's get to it. Okay, plan B, put a ground cable on. Let's try that. I bet you guys have done that a million times too. Let's go. Okay, I'll finish this up and I'll bring you back when it's done. Okay, I just thought I'd show you the rig setup here. If I didn't have this protective blanket, yeah, it would have just burnt it all to pieces. So these are the last 2 welds here. I'll fire them on and then we'll take a look. Okay, see the rig setup you gotta have just to do something like this? Wow. Okay, let's see what kind of work we did there. Well, here we go. I got her flipped upside down, and guys, I'm no professional welder, but I'll tell you what, I can ticky-tacky with the best of them. And yeah, that's pretty well it. I mean, I can't really show you underneath there too much, but guys, that's going to be good enough. And what we have to do now is I have to put some cross supports here using that right there. So I'll cut them up, and then I'll have to take the paint off into both sections, and then we'll fire them on, and that'll pretty well be it. And yeah, you can see she got pretty hot here, eh? Yeah, it would have melted all this. And just for a laugh, I'd show you. This is where I stuffed some towel in here because this thing was vibrating so bad. You know, so I mean, I'm going to fix that, you know. Okay, I'll bring you back when I got some pipe cut and the right angles, and we'll fire them on too. Well, how's that look there, guys? That's the setup there, and you just cut them on a 45. I just set this magnet on the bottom, just hold it, so I can just tack the tops. So that's what we'll do. We'll tack the tops, bring it back, tack the bottom, then weld her all up. And then we'll move on to how to stop this thing from vibrating. Okay, let's get to it. Just going to put a little tack here on both ends here. Not too much of a tack. I find if you put like a big heavy tack, it'll pull this one way up and then you got to clamp it. We'll see if I have to. Let's just do a couple of tacks here. Oh, I moved that one a bit. Okay, let's go down on the bottom here and see if they moved. Ah, they look fine to me. We'll just center this up a little bit. And what about this one? That looks good right there. Okay, I'll weld these up and I'll bring you back. Well, there you go. I got them all welded on. And, you know, it just goes on there. I mean, it's not that hard of a job to do. And they're 16 inches long. Hopefully, when I get in the tractor, I'm not going to be hitting my head on them. I hope not. I hope I got them farther off back. But I think that should do good now. Okay, let's see what I'm going to do with firming this up. Because, see, this will vibrate between here and here. So, and I do have screws in the odd one, but I don't want to put screws all the way through the whole thing. But I may have to. But I think I may have a better resolve. And let's see what we got to come up with. Well, you guys let me know if you like this idea or not. Just them pieces of foam in there. And as you can tell by looking at the strips here, they're an inch wide and a 1/4 of an inch foam. I had some of that and I thought, you know what? That's just enough to do it. And of course I did it on the far side there too. And guys, I think that's going to be all right. Well, thanks for joining me on this little bit of a welding project. I hope you guys like that. It was just on the fly, guys. Like, I don't like spending a lot of time on this. And I just like to get her good and strong and safe. I'm going to paint this all up. The next time you see it up at the camp, well, she's going to be looking pretty shined up and ready to go. I hope this is okay. Whenever you're welding and stuff like that, you know, it starts to twist and turn and everything else. And I think I got enough flexibility in these legs so I can still put them right in there without all this welding I've done affecting it. I don't think it'll affect it at all. Keep my fingers crossed on there. So thanks for joining me here today. If you haven't seen this channel before, well, you're welcome to subscribe. I got some more welding coming up in the future too. So you guys stay tuned. You guys have a good day too. Cheers.